స్టార్ట్ చేయనా? Good evening. So I was given this current affairs also. So I think we discussed about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, I think 3 or 4 days back. A resultant of the scheme, these are the implementation part. That's what, if you observe, governance part, governance means what? Implementation of the law, whether it is reached to the common public or not, to the doorstep. For example, I introduced a scheme at the central level, whether this benefit of the scheme reached to the last mile, and the process is called governance. And sometimes we find e-governance. What is the meaning of e-governance? Through electronics. Earlier we have to stand on the queue. I still remember when I was very young, during that time, getting a cylinder, a gas cylinder, is very tough. Exactly 15 years back. At that time, there is no online booking where we need to hold the book, a copy book of account, and we have to stand in line, particularly in gas agency. And they will come at evening time. From morning to evening, we have to wait. The very long queue will be there. It is like Tirumal Tirupati Devasthanam queue for one gas cylinder. Now today, just open phone pay, book a gas cylinder, pay online, and it will be reaching at your doorstep. You're not going outside, right? As simple as that. So similarly, earlier the pension amount will be given to the beneficiaries in hand. If they stand in front of the panchayat office, and the panchayat officer will come, suddenly he become the president of India, and all these pension beneficiaries, when they came towards the office, these old age people, where they could not able to stand for some time and sit for some time, and they will stand, sir, please. Now these people only going to the home, asking their thumb impression. After authenticating the thumb impression of the age old people who are eligible, handed over to money to them at the home. Not only the employees, the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh is also going. Every month he will select the first of every month, and he will select one place and one beneficiary who is very poor to provide this pension. So government at doorstep. Now that is what the basic meaning. But the question, but the article which is given here, substantive equality in marriage laws. Substantive equality in marriage laws. Now, legal inconsistencies and gender based disparities. One side we are looking at only child. See, whenever the word child marriage, what does it mean? Is that only girl is getting early marriage? No, boy also. For boy, the prescribed age limit is 21. For girl, it is 18. Even if the boy get the marriage, if he get married at 20 years of age, still it is a child marriage as per the prescribed age limit, right? So the states, most importantly the poor states, will be having such type of activities. Bihar, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, these are the states where child marriages are more prevalent. The reason is poor states. Sir, what is the relation between the poor and the child marriage? You might have a question here. What is the relation between the poor and the child marriage? Simple. If the parents could not afford their education and well-being, they simply marry to other persons. As simple as that. Now, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. Just read the components which is mentioned here in the newspaper article, which is a copy paste of newspaper. This particular column. Read this article. Why is the rising the marriage age to 21 problematic? So it is related to mains relevant article. So just read that article so that you can understand the laws and their implementation part. Okay. Second article, which is I find it is important, environment part, paper 3, Indian squid. ICAR and Central Marine Fisheries Research, they, I think they found a new species. Uh, yeah, they found a new species. Just read it and leave it. Just read it and leave it. Don't try to mug up the content which is given here itself. Okay. Huh. With respect to any article of health related, read it very thoroughly. Okay, very important. Now see here, health related paper 2, low sodium salt substitutes, sorry, lower sodium salt substitute. What is the meaning of sodium salt? Sodium salt, that is sodium chloride, na? Na plus NaCl, Na2Cl, chemical composition. Generally, as per the WHO norms, I think it is not given here. As per the WHO norms, 10 grams of salt is prescribed for the healthy person. 10 grams of salt. If you are increasing the salt in near future, you definitely get a 1 plus 1 offer. That is blood pressure, hypertension. In our layman language, it is BP, blood pressure. If you are eating more salt, more blood pressure. Is it what? If you are eating less salt, below than the prescribed limit, obviously it is low BP. Low BP is more dangerous than high BP. Nowadays, because of this BP, an additional outcome is sugar. Sugar is already there in their body. That is the reason why whenever your relatives come to your home, they will ask you tea or coffee. If you are offering them tea or coffee, they will tell you already sugar is there. Please give sugarless. Is it so? That is what. Now, this is the common diseases and very long term diseases. They are not too severe, to be frankly speaking. They are not too severe, but they definitely alter your day to day life for sure. And there is a huge crores and crores of business is happening on the two diseases in the market. One such it is organic foods, and millet dosa. In millet dosa, except millet, everything will be there. But the color of the dosa and color of idli something different like a millet only. Is it so? Obviously yes. So that is one thing, because these two diseases will definitely change your entire food habits, even hobbies. The person who never even saw himself to sweating on the ground while walking, jogging, etc. Now these people are doing that. So exercise for the physical body is very much needed from the teenage. But what people we do during teenage till 30-35 years of age, our body is more stretchable. It will bend and it will stand at any cost, because this is the very strong age. Once you cross 35, slowly one will come, another. And by 45 years of age, what we are doing, giving more restrictions to food. So we eat like donkeys from 20 to 30 years, and exactly after 35 years, and we start taking huge dietary. That is what. So try to understand the implementation process of these things. WHO, why these are the important aspects. I think they have given salt reduction versus usual supply, salt substitute as versus usual salt. What are lower salt, sodium salt substitute alternatives to regular table salt? A giant leap towards unlimited clean energy. Whenever you find a word called clean energy, read it. Even if you don't understand, read it. Clean energy means what? Is simple. Very simple. Without greenhouse gas emissions. If the energy is generated, that is clean energy. Hydrogen energy, clean energy. Means while the process of generating the energy while the process of generating the energy, if there is very minimal or zero emissions of greenhouse gases, that is highly preferable. And we put a target by 2030 saying that 50 percentage of our energy consumption from the renewable sources, and we are doing and we are trying to achieve towards that. Solar energy, wind energy, obviously, can we call this as clean energies? And recently Narendra Modi inaugurated hydrogen, a plant in Anakapalli district of Andhra Pradesh. So now become hydrogen become the most important fuel. It is going to decide the economies of the world, and India is traveling towards it. And don't try to remember the statistics, numbers, etc. Try to understand what is the basic concept coming 90 days. That is what your work. Don't try to mug up the static points or the numbers which is given in the articles. But yes, they are giving the articles which is useful for UPSC prelims, mains, interview purpose also. That is the reason why this article is very heavy. It is not only made for the beginners, it is also made beginners already, those who are taking the coaching, and those who are already given 3 4 attempts also. These documents on daily basis are very useful. But it is like how much you can digest, you have to eat. That is where your preparation should start. Okay, those who already having past 3 4 months, then you are able to read this entire document. Those who are started now, you have to read only 2 articles hardly, that is sufficient for 1 month. Then next month another article you need to increase. Just give me a second. Yeah. uh, ASCR report with respect to the education. school education and I think up to intermediate education will be given here. School education, most importantly, just try to see the parameters on what basis they give the report. Okay, on what basis they give the report and which organization will give the report. So those you need to observe. Yeah. Fundamental rights, I think we have done article 14 only yesterday. Article 14. So I hope you are having clarity over article 14 and the exceptions which I have mentioned. Article 361 is an exception where president of India and governor of the state will be having some certain privileges. So in that privileges, let me tell you one thing which is very important. They are not prosecuted under any criminal offenses that they made even earlier or even during the office. If there is any case which is filed against the governor of the state or even governor of the president or president of the country, no criminal proceedings will be done until they continue in the office. That is one thing. But there is even for the civil cases also, but with respect to the civil cases, they can be served 2 months of notice period and prosecute the civil cases. So from criminal cases they are highly exempted. From criminal cases they are highly exempted. One more important thing, whatever they have done, whatever they have done during the time period of their duty, means their official acts or official works, that cannot be questioned in the court of law. Remember this one, because president of India will act on the aid and advice of the cabinet, right? Means wherever the president of India is giving his signature, what does it mean? Behind each and every signature there is a cabinet. Whatever cabinet suggesting him, he is doing it. So nothing is personal in the capacity of the president of India. So he is doing his all official duties. So he is not responsible for anything that is done under official capacity. The same will be applied to the governor of the state as well as a constitutional heads. Okay, yeah, that is one thing. Now coming to article 15 of Indian constitution, which is very very important. Prohibition of discrimination. Prohibition of discrimination only on the grounds, remember the word, prohibition of discrimination prohibition of discrimination only, remember the word only, on the grounds of caste, race, religion, okay, sex, or place of birth. Place of birth. How many parameters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember here, means any person, article, sorry, any citizen of this country, as I mentioned, article 15, 16, 19, 29, 30, these are exclusively to Indian citizens. So none of our Indian citizens shall be discriminated on the base of caste. Means if any person is there, if any Indian citizen is there, you should not discriminate him on the base of the caste, provided at public places. See, you need to understand this one. At public places, what does it mean? You can discriminate a person in the private place. What is that private place? For example, my home. I will decide which person has to enter into my home. Suddenly you cannot go to a neighbor home and saying that you should not discriminate me on the base of caste, on the base of religion. You should not do that overaction, because you are citizens, and this article 15 is provided at the public places. Now what are the public places? Movie theaters, public parks, any gardens, as well restaurants. Yeah, temples. Yes, temples also, until unless it is a private temple of your own home. Because there are particularly let's say there is a uh, gated community. I hope you know gated communities. You don't know? Gated communities are nothing but where all the houses will be constructed, and all those families are living together at a particular place, where outsiders, mean unauthorized persons, are not allowed inside the community. While you are entering into any of the high-tech city areas, there is a my home Rameswaram, very good buildings. If you want to enter, you cannot enter there, because until unless you will be having a proper ID card to enter inside the homes. Because even the homes are completely private properties, right? If the temple is constructed by the public, means public funds. If the public fund means, not suddenly, sir, my neighbors constructed a temple. Depends, it's completely a private issue, where because religion matters. Religion matters is little private and little public issues. Whereas if a temple is constructed out of the funds used from government, then it is a public place. Then it is a public place. So there is a difference of opinion here. I'll deal it later. Now coming to the public places, it might be tanks, cheruvu, it might be wells, the water drawing wells. You should not discriminate any person, any citizen at public places on these grounds, on the base of caste, on the base of race, religion, sex, or place of birth. Sex here means gender. It might be male or female, or even a transgender or third gender. You should not discriminate the person at the public places, or the public places. And you can discriminate a person at a private places. Now one more important thing: prohibition of discrimination only on these grounds. Remember the word only. Remember the word only. Now any citizen can be discriminated on the basis of dress culture. Obviously discrimination can be done. And majority of the times, if you go to any famous temples in this country, what is the dress code that they apply? You have to wear the same dress code. You cannot question that article 15 prohibition of discrimination. Whatever the dress I wear, it is my personal issue. And you have to check my devotional levels. I am completely the bhakta, I am the follower, worshipper of every. Nothing doing. Culture have to follow. If they are denying, and one more important thing, with respect to the religion, with respect to the religion, if you want to enter into the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, a other religion person cannot enter. Do you know this? You don't know? Huh. Last year, or even before 2 years back, there is a huge controversy against the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, at that time, Jagan Mohan Reddy. Jagan Mohan Reddy is a follower of Christianity. He's a Christian. He went to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. As per the TTD rules, as per the TTD rules, they gave a proper memorandum saying that other religious persons cannot enter into the temple of Lord Venkateshwara unless until they gave a declaration to the Lord Venkateshwara. Declaration says that I may follow other religion, but I have very much regards this religion, and I believe in the Lord Venkateshwara. If you give such type of declaration, you will be allowed. President of India, former President of India, Abdul Kalam, also, when he about to take the darshanam of Lord Venkateshwara, he gave a declaration. Now, you tell me, sir, is it fair to give such? Tell me about your opinion, because fundamental rights perspective is different from person to person. Sir, one side you are saying that religion, on the base of religion, you should not discriminate, right? One side you are saying that on the place of discrimination. But Tirumal Tirupati Devasthanam is a trust which is run on the base of sentiments and the donations of the public. And we have to run on the same basis. It is like when there is a tradition of the temple, even though if you are an outsider, if you are want to take the darshanam of Lord Venkateshwara, why you want to take? Out of belief only, na? When you are believing, believe the tradition also, and when you are believing, follow the tradition also. You have to follow. I'll give one example. While any person entering into inside the mosque, what are the rules they have to follow? You don't know? My God. Okay, so I don't go to space. Does it mean that I should not know anything about space? I should know. You're saying something, ma'am. Huh. Another important thing. I'll come to this point again. I'll come to the gender. There are temples in this country where woman is not allowed inside the temple. No matter whether you believe, no matter whether you follow. What is the temple? Shabarimala. The temple in Shabarimala, Ayappa Swami temple in Shabarimala, the Travancore Devasthanam, like us TTD is there for Tirumal Tirupati, there is a Travancore Devasthanam in Kerala, says that there is a clear prohibition of woman. Only on the base of gender, a woman is prohibited not to take the darshan of Lord Ayappa. How many of you know this? My God. You know, safe. You don't know. But you're not exactly having a awareness. But yes, it is true. Supreme Court in 2018, the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court in 2018 gave a clear judgment, said that no matter whatever the traditions are, you have to allow the woman. Just because of a gender, how can you deny the woman entry? Supreme Court said this. Now my question is, who is Supreme Court to enter into the private affairs of a religion? Religion is a private affair. Sir, how can you say, sir? Supreme Court once said give a judgment. How can we criticize it? You can criticize the judgment of the Supreme Court, no matter how it is. That is your stand. You are not criticizing the judges, na? That is okay. If you are criticizing the judges, that is comes under contempt of court. Now my question is, every home have some rules and regulations, right? I'm speaking about home. Home is a personal area, right, for us. And in our home, we do have some traditions and we follow some culture and some discipline or decorum of the home, whichever it is. And whoever coming into our home, even though relatives, when we make some rules and regulations, we made our relatives to be follow that. Example, I don't like any person who is smoking in my home. I don't like it. So outrightly I will tell any person who is smoking, just go out and smoke. That is my home rule. That is. So when your home is a private place, religion is also a private area, or temple is also a private area with a larger section of the people. That's it. But the question is whether the discrimination having any sanctity. That is the most important question. Woman is not allowed inside the temple of Shabarimala just because of the woman. Yes, just because of the woman only she was not allowed to. Why? Is it the reason women should be discriminated? No, not to discriminate women, but the tradition of the temple is Lord Ayyappa is a Naistika Brahmacharya. Lord Ayyappa is a Naistika Brahmachari. While he going into the Samadhi, he gave a declaration, don't allow any woman into my premises. That is what the tradition. Now, sir, how can you believe this? If you are not believing this, you cannot believe any religion for sure. Religion is all about beliefs and faith. Yes or no? Obviously. Now, some people have a question, sir, I can't believe this. When you can't believe this, religion is based on what? Beliefs and faith. When you don't believe this, you are not having any eligibility to enter first. It is like, I don't believe in Lord Venkateshwara, but I want to enter into the temple of Lord Venkateshwara. What is this? When you don't believe, you are not eligible first. I hope you understand my point. That is a logic. But Supreme Court did not find this logic well. It sounds well. And Supreme Court outrightly said that it give a Article 14 right to equality, and Article 15 prohibition of discrimination, and Article 17 of Indian Constitution you are making a woman untouchable, where she is not even allowed inside the temple of the Lord Venkatesh, Lord Ayyappa. So it is utter discrimination, utter untouchable. So we are giving a judgment saying that you should allow the woman inside the temple of Ayyappa. Now the question is, except in Shabarimala, remaining Ayyappa temples in the entire country, women can allow. Now you means actually this case was filed by Young Lawyers Association, the Kerala Young Woman. They filed a case in Supreme Court in 1990s, and 2018 the judgment came. But the judgment is not even being implemented for 2-3 days. Because so when Supreme Court involved in these activities, is in a religious activity, all the sentiment for all the followers of Lord Ayyappa literally agitated. So what is this? Don't you feel very bad when your sentiments towards Lord Ayyappa was disturbed by some person? No matter whether it is judiciary or not, no matter. Religion is highly sentimental. Yes or no? Obviously yes. Now observe this. Very, very interesting case. If I say this point, you will get shock. Out of the 5 judges, 4 judges said women should allow inside the temple of Lord Ayyappa. And only 1 judge rejected the entry of women inside the Lord Ayyappa. Same case, 4:1 judgment. And that 1 judge is woman. Justice Indu Malhotra. Out of the 5 judges, only 1 woman was there in the bench, and that 1 woman denied the entry of a woman inside the temple of Lord Ayyappa. Surprising, right? Sir, woman is the enemy for another woman. Then, why she have given such type of judgment? In her judgment she wrote, when there is a belief and faith system, let believe it. Don't question it. If you are questioning it, you are not eligible to enter first. As simple as the judgment. Obviously, yes. It is like I believe in the temple of Lord Venkateshwara, but I don't wear the traditional dress. I just want to wear the short and t-shirt. I want to enter inside the temple. You need to check the quality of worship or devotion rather than my attire. Does it make any sense? It might make any sense in logical form of 21st century, but temples are not built, sentiments are not followed as per the present 6th generation of technology. I hope you understand what I am saying is. No, fundamental rights are having very deeper understanding. If you know it, fine. If you could not, see, there is a very diaphragm wall by knowing fundamental rights of you and respecting other fundamental rights also. One side, you are having right to religion in Article 25 of Indian Constitution. Please remember this. Article 25 of Indian Constitution says that you have right to religion. Subjected to that, you should follow the tradition first. It is like, I believe in Lord Ganesha, I believe in Lord Ganesha, but I question everything. See, questioning is also okay. Rational questioning is also okay, not an issue. But you cannot hurt the sentiments of larger community who is believing the belief. That is on the most important point. Now coming to the place of birth. Actually, Article 15 gives positive discrimination as well as negative discrimination. Positive discrimination as well as negative discrimination. I'm going to tell that. Does the state, I need to discuss about the word state even before, but let me tell you, state is nothing but government, central government, state government, local government, and government authorities as well. That's it. Remember that point. Simple. Now, state can discriminate. Sir, what are you talking? How can the state discriminate? I'll give one example. State can discriminate few kinds of people. One, woman can be discriminated positively. Sir, what is positive discrimination? State can discriminate children positively. Sir, discrimination itself is a negative word. Then how can you say that positive discrimination? Simple. How many of you generally travel in bus or a train? Every person, right? In bus, the first 4 or 5 rows of the seats reserved for whom? Women, right? Second point. Children below some certain of years of age will be charged half ticket. Yes or no? Yes. Only state can do that. Private players never do that, first of all. Remember the word state here. Second thing, generally, sometimes we watch while we are traveling in the trains, there is a separate coach for women. Yes or no? Only woman is allowed. Yes or no? Discrimination. Obviously, positive discrimination. Then why the government is doing, sir? Because in common sense, in terms of the gender, a woman is, was, and in the near future also having a sort of discrimination from the ancient time periods. That is true. To uplift the woman means those who are backward, to pull them towards the forward, the government can make special provisions to make them come forward. That's it. In the process, the government can make any provision for the upliftment of backward classes. This backward classes means scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes, that is called OBCs. They did not mention outrightly SC, ST, OBC, but they mentioned socially and educationally backward classes will be uplifted by providing certain positive discriminations, that is called reservation in this country. And 15 clause 5 also mentions that those who are economically weaker sections, those also will be provided reservations. EWS reservations, OBC reservations, SC, ST reservations. Means the origin of reservation system in this country comes from the roots of Article 15. Okay, remember this point very well, very important. Now, can the place of birth, on the base of the place of birth, can we do the discrimination? Yes, we can do. How? Simple. To protect the distinctive culture and tradition of some communities in this country, you will be restricted to not to enter those places. And you will be given the priority on the base of place of birth. I'll give one example. It will be no applied in Article 16 also. Place of residence will be altered as per the parliament law. Those who are belongs to Tamil Nadu, if they write government exam of Telangana, will will those be treated equally on par with the aspirants of Telangana? No. Okay. Parliament can make any law to prescribe place of residence as a criteria of the recruitment. Only Parliament can do that, not the state governments. Remember this point. I'm going to discuss this in the Article 16 also. Now, on the basis of caste, you should not discriminate any person. On the basis of race, you should not discriminate. On the basis of religion, sex, or place of birth. Only on these 5 grounds, the citizens shall not be discriminated. The citizens shall not be discriminated. Nothing in this article, let's say this is the content of the article, nothing in this article prohibit the state to discriminate or to uplift the backward classes. So state can discriminate. That is what I said, reservation system in this country. Clear? Nice. Now, this discrimination is also against private individuals at public places. Against private individuals at public places. What does it mean? Being a person, I'm a private person. I'm not a government official, or I'm not the representative of the government here, or I'm not representative of the public here. So, while I am in the public, I should not discriminate any person. Okay? But if I was staying in my home, if I was staying in my own closed areas, I can decide who can enter into my home. It is not that suddenly you come, suddenly one day my to home. Sir, you only told. What? Prohibition of discrimination. Shall I enter? What is this? So this is what. So Article 15, that is prohibition of discrimination, is against the state. Means state, that is government, shall not discriminate at any cost. Only at public places. Even private individuals also shall not discriminate any person at public places. AKS, IAS is a public, is a private institution, right? Or for the matter, any coaching center is a private institution. So, these private institutions also should not discriminate you here itself. But, listen here carefully. It can discriminate an outsider who did not take admission into the AKS. You cannot say that, sir, it is a public place. Shall I enter and take in the coaching without paying the fees? No. I hope you understand. This is a private place. This is a private organization at the public place. But it does not mean that it is free for all. It is free for all. Those who have taken this admission, those will be considered. Those who are not taken the admission, those are the private persons to us. But I shall not discriminate you people. You are in the public. I shall not discriminate you people. But I can discriminate a person who is not taken the admission, and if you want to enter into the class, I shall not enter him. I shall not allow him. Or this person is going to question me, why you are not allowing me to the class. First take admission, then come. And he cannot claim that, sir, this is a public place, see how many people are there. Representative of people doesn't mean that they are the public organization. For your understanding, for your convenience, I'll tell one example. How many of you know the pub culture? Pub culture knowing means not required to go, but at least you watch in the movies. Only a male person who is accompanied with the female is allowed. Yes or no? and there is a dress code also. And there is a huge controversy in this dress code at one point of time in Delhi. I'll explain that also. So pub is a private entity, right? Pub is a private entity. While you are entering into the pub, the rules of the pub you need to follow. And what they said, you have to wear black dress. Let's say example. Suddenly you wear, no, I'm politician, I want to wear white and white, kadar, etc. No, go out. So on what basis they are discriminating you? Dress. Shall they discriminate you? Yes, because only these areas, na? Prohibition of discrimination in these areas. Prohibition of discrimination at public places only on these areas. If the person, even though he wears a black coat dress, even after that, no, no, you belong to that religion, so we are not allowing you. That is completely a discrimination. Take example of movie theater. Movie theater. You purchase the ticket while you are entering. While you are entering, if someone stops you, no, no, you belongs to other state person, or you belongs to a different caste, or you belongs to a transgender. If they stop, or if they deny the entry of any person who holds a valid ticket to the movie, that definitely violated your fundamental right of Article 15. Okay, which is very very important, my dear friends, because it seems to be very simple, but is a complicated article in the entire articles of the Constitution. So, what you need to remember is, what are the grounds of discrimination at the public place? There's a clear understanding. Public place means what? What is the definition of public place? Doesn't mean that public are involved. If the place is run fully or partially by the government funds, or if you are paying the taxes while utilizing the service, that is also comes under public utility, provided you should not be discriminated on these 5 bases only. Coming to the point, as I said earlier, I'm going to tell this one. In Delhi, exactly 2 years back, as of my knowledge, 2 years back, 2 years back, a woman booked a table in a five-star hotel or three-star hotel. I forget the hotel name. One of the top hotel in Delhi. Now, after that, when she entered, she wear the sari and entered into the table, towards the table. She already booked the table, paid everything, etc. But the hotel staff denied the entry, saying that, ma'am, this hotel will allow only the Western wear. And she started her mobile camera on and done every drama there, saying that they denied my entry, being a Indian woman, wearing Indian costume. In India, I was denied. And I hope you understand. People know prohibition of discrimination, but they don't know the provisions of the discrimination. And each and every person trolling it. And finally, but the hotel management, they never ever come down. They said, that is our rule. We are not discriminating you. We followed some certain rules and we ask you to follow. Even before booking the table, we suggested this. Shall the government take any action? No. Why? Not mentioned here, na? But what social media people do? Oh, India, Mera Bharat Mahan, doing all Hindustan activities there itself, saying that, Jai Hind, etc., 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 etc. This is what. In India, the semi-knowledgeable people are more than the knowledgeable people, and knowledgeable people are more silent. Semi-knowledgeable people are more sound makers. They don't know subject, but they make noise. As I mentioned yesterday about, 2 days back, about Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, about the Muslim citizenship is going to lose in this country. First of all, have you read the act? No, I don't read the act. Outrightly they deny you for sure. They don't read. So misinformation or fake information circulate more than any other information. This is what happens. Now, I said exceptions, I said I think so. Reservations can be provided for women, children, as well as the backward classes, and even for the EWS. And even for the EWS. So these reservations can be in the government jobs and admission into educational institutions. If that educational institution might be a private institution also, reservation is applied. Except if it is a minority institution, it won't apply in the minority institutions. For example, even the private organizations shall provide seats on the base of SC, ST, BC to these people. It is applicable to private individuals also. Means private institutions also has to provide some seats for these communities. Okay, but to be frankly speaking, they don't follow. Paisa ke Paramatma hai. Those who have paid the fees earlier, more, they will be allocated the seat. Okay, and I think OBC persons will get 27% of reservations because of this only, and SC ST people combinedly get 22% of reservations because of this Article 15 and Article 16 as well. Article 15 is a route for reservations in this country. Now coming to Article 16. Article 16, what is that Article 16? Equality of opportunity in public employment for all its citizens. Equality of opportunity for equality of opportunity in public employment for all its citizens. Equality of opportunity in public employment. Now it says that every citizen shall be provided an equal opportunity to get government employment. Well and good, nice. Means all are equal. If any government exam is there, you have to write, get merit, and only getting job. But in reality, is not the thing. That is where there is an exception. Even the state can make any law to bring the backward classes to the forward. That is one thing. Means the state government can, it is not must. See, listen here carefully. If any person belongs to OBC, SC, ST for the matter, or even for the matter EWS or PWD, person with physical disabilities, okay, person with disabilities, or for the matter transgender, whichever it is, those who are backward, those who are backward, they can be provided reservation by the state. It might be central government, it might be state government, okay. But getting reservation is not fundamental right. Listen the point carefully, very very technical. Let's say I am the government. Constitution said me, okay, if, see, let's say Constitution, I am the government and you are the public. Constitution said me that, okay, if any person who is very backward, you can make any provision for their betterment in the society, even in terms of employment. Now it gave power to me, saying that I am the authority. If I want to provide reservation to that girl, which is she is very far and which is very backward, and if I want to make a, let's say this entire class is filled with all the people, only two persons who are very back, very short in height, they could not able to watch the board, they could not able to watch me also. So, shall I consider them as backward? Yes, I can consider. Now listen here carefully. Constitution said to me, if you feel any person is backward and if you want to lift them and see make their seat in parallel to the other persons in the society, I can do that. And it is not mandated me to do. Remember this point. It is not compulsory for me to provide reservation for them, and it is not right for you to claim, sir, I was sitting backside, so please you have to provide the reservation. No, asking reservation is not your fundamental right, and it is not compulsion on me also to provide reservation for you. If I feel I can give. Who said it? Constitution said it. Constitution said the state can no provide reservations for the upliftment of these backward class communities, but it is not the word the state must do it. Remember the word. It is not must for the state, but the state can do it. And availing reservation is not your fundamental right. If state gives, take it. If state is not giving, you does not have the power to claim it. That is what Supreme Court said. Very, very important one. Fundamental rights seems to be very simple, but understanding fundamental rights, if you have a deeper understanding in fundamental rights, trust me, no one can beat you in polity, for sure. For sure, because fundamental rights and parliament is a two important and major topics. Okay, these are the things. Now, the parliament, that is the reason why in different states there is a different type of reservation percentage for SC/ST communities. Have you observed this? Exactly. This is what. In some states they have provided 70% of reservations. In some states they have provided only 60% of reservations. Means, with respect to the state governments also provide reservations to fill the vacancies for the backward classes. The backward classes not only BCs but also SC/ST communities. Here in South India we call OBCs. For the generally northern part of India, backward classes means SC/ST community. But in southern part of India, in northern India, backward class community is nothing but SC/ST community by default itself. In southern part of India, BC means separately, okay, backward, and we do recognize SC/ST separately. That is the reason why OBC is a word originated in 1992. VP Singh is a person who provided 27% of reservations for backward class communities. On the recommendation of the Mandal Commission, remember the word Mandal Commission, listen here carefully. 1979 is the year Mandal Commission was established. As per Article 340 of Indian Constitution, as per Article 340 of Indian Constitution, Mandal Commission was established to analyze or to do recommendations for the other backward class communities other than SC/ST communities. Generally, for SC/ST people, since the constitution came to power, means constitution implemented, since then they are provided some reservation system. 15% is for SCs, 7% is for STs. So total 22% is for STs from the central government. Okay. Now, Mandal Commission was established in 1979 when Morarji Desai was the Prime Minister at that time. This Mandal Commission was established on the article this one, and they recommended in India around 58% of population 58% of population are BCs, are BC. Apart from SC/ST community, apart from OC, other categories or open category, only backward classes, n number of castes were there. All these castes who are backward, they counted all the castes and they counted the entire population who belongs to that caste. So that population came, 58% of population in this country are backward. Now we have to lift them upward, forward. How? That is the reason why half of 58, how much? Then it is 56. Yeah, 56 or huh? 56 percentage of population. They recommended 27 percentage of reservations. Sorry, it is 52 percentage. 52 percentage of population are BCs in this country, and Mandal Commission 26, okay, but they recommended 27 percentage of reservations. Now listen here carefully, very important. In India, 52 percentage of population is BCs. On the basis of the population, Mandal Commission recommended 27 percentage of reservation we should provide to these communities. And VP Singh in the year 1990, VP Singh government provided 27 percentage of reservation for backward class communities or OBCs. So from then, OBC reservations in government employment is 27 percentage. One person went to court, Supreme Court. That person name is Indra Sahani. The person name is Indra Sahani. He filed a case in 1991 itself. He filed a case in 1991 saying that, sir, how it is possible? Already SC ST people was given reservation. If you give 27 percentage, it will go to around 22 plus 27 to 49. And he went to court. Supreme Court said that, okay, 52 percentage of BCs are there, providing 27 percentage of reservations for these communities, fair enough. But they have given some most important points, said that the cap of reservations, means the upper limit of the reservation shall not exceed 50 percentage except under certain circumstances, means except at few times the reservations from now shall not increase above 50 percentage, because by now SC ST percentages are 22 plus BC 27, total how much? 49 percentage. 49 percentage. Supreme Court said that, okay, we accept 27 percentage of reservation for backward class communities. We accept it and we uphold it. Uphold means accepted. But the cap of reservation shall not increase 50 percentage except at some conditions. If it is a highly important situation, okay, you can go for above 50 percentage of reservation also. This is what Supreme Court said. Second thing, in the backward classes, in the 52 percentage population of the backward class also, there are communities who are too backward, means poorest of the poor. If you consider 52 percentage of the poor people, for the common sense I'm using this word poor. If there are 10 people are poor, among the 10 people there are 3-4 persons who are too much backward, too much poor, and Supreme Court said that give reservations to those who are too much backward first. That is the reason why they brought a creamy layer and non-creamy layer. Non-creamy layer is nothing but those who are backward of the backward classes, and within these communities they might be backward class communities. In those communities, some people are highly rich people in terms of the finances. For the namesake, they might be a backward class, but there are some group 1 officers, DSP rank officers, and very good contractors who are making some 10 crores of money every year. For them, reservation shall not be given. That is the reason why they brought creamy layer, non-creamy layer. Those who are having non-creamy layer, reservations will be applicable to them. Those who belongs to creamy layer, reservation is not provided to them. Simple. Understand? Second thing, next. So these are the most important thing, cap of 50 percentage as well as creamy layer, non-creamy layer was provided. And Parliament have the power to make place of residence as a criteria in the selection of government jobs. So far Parliament did not done it for the entire country, but it has done for the state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. If any of the Andhra aspirant write any government job in Telangana, only 5% of jobs eligible, because he's a non-local. Is a non-local. So that is how. So play on the base of the place of residence also you can discriminate a person. That is where Article 16 says. Article 15 also says. But who will discriminate on the place of residence? Parliament can make laws separately for that, not the state governments. So Parliament can prescribe residence as a condition for certain employment or appointment in a state or UT or local authority or other authorities, presently only in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Okay, that is one. And EWS reservations also comes under Article 16 also. Okay, 10% of reservations in public employment in central government and as well as state government. Again I am saying up to 10%. Up to 10% means the central government can give 5% also. The state government can give EWS 7% also. Up to 10 means what? Up to not more than 10. Simple as that. They might provide 9% also. They might provide 5% also likewise. Okay, this is what. And in Indra Sahani judgment they said, okay, please provide reservations only during the appointment time. Don't consider the reservation to promotions. Initially they said it, but later through 93rd Constitutional Amendment Act again we done promotions in reservation in promotion also. That is what we have done. I will discuss it later, not now. Yeah, that's done for today. Thank you. Bye. See, fundamental rights will take some time. It will take some 3 more days. If I have a common peripheral manner of explanation, by now today I have been completed the fundamental rights completely, but I am giving very slowly with the details. Okay, you need to understand. Bye.